www.stewartorg.com.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for being here. We love to have the MC Moneymakers in the house. There's always an extra level of energy there. I don't know what it is about that chapter, but I love it.
They are noisy, I'll tell you.
Yeah. I'm sure you've been there, right?
He's next door.
I'm next door. I hear it every day. So,
well, thank you so much for spending some time with us on the show. We want to thank all of our guests. I wish them the best. Be very, very careful over the weekend. Obviously, we've got freezing conditions coming into town, icing on the roads. Let's make sure that we're all safe. Stay home if we can. That being said, we'll leave it off for the next segment. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll be back with you next Friday at the same time. Have a great weekend.
Thank you so much.
Hey everybody, it's Wednesday, so that means it's time for Teach Your Business to Fish. This is your business guide, Michael Rager. Man, I'm so excited today. I got John Dawson from Affordable Quality Water, because nobody wants crappy water, and we're going to be talking about that soon. But man, it's been a great week for me. I don't know about you guys, man, but I'm telling you, we've just been really busting it. Me and my team, we've got some stuff that if you're following us on Facebook, especially in that business owners who love to fish and hunt group, man, there's so much stuff coming. I have spent so much time behind my computer writing Facebook posts. Oh my God, you're going to see some of this stuff and how creative I'm not. So hopefully you appreciate that and kind of go. Like Jonathan's already in there rolling his eyes at me. It was so good. We came in. This week was so great because it started Sunday. It's really started Friday because we got the pre-trailer of the new Godzilla Kong. And then we got the actual trailer that came out Sunday. My son and I just waited the countdown. Cameron and I, you've seen him on here. We waited till 11 o'clock that thing came alive. And, man, we were geeked. Jonathan and I were in here watching it. And I was like, yeah, this is going to be fun. So, Jonathan, you're going to be a big boy. We'll take you. We'll buy you some popcorn and we'll go see the show. Yeah. All right, man. That's what it's all about. So we're going to talk about fun. But those of you guys that know me and been talking, man, one of the things I hate doing, and as a business owner, you shouldn't hate doing it, but it's closing. I am not a great closer. I mean, I close well if I'm closing for you. If you want me to come sell your product and I want to show you how good I am, I can do it, man. But when I'm closing for me, oh my God, it's tough. I have a tough time. And this week I brought 2 new coaches onto my team, and I'm really looking forward to this. This guy, Connor, he's up in Ann Arbor. Man, this guy's, God, he's brilliant, man. He used to work for Google. But he was so easy to close because he loved everything that we did. We talked. He's like, Matic, I want to join your team. Come on. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. I got this other guy, David. David, man, he's a seasoned business owner up in the Dallas. He's owned several businesses, made them successful. But like a lot of people with coming through with COVID right now, he had just concerns. Concerns, man. And I was overcoming objections. And I said, you know what I'm going to do? David, I'm going to introduce you to one of my partners, Carl Bryan. And if any of you guys get a chance, look up Carl Bryan, is with a K. Man, as he says, he's a hockey player. So he lives up in BC, but he's a little guy. And he says he's got little man syndrome, and he's not going to lose at anything. And Carl got on and started talking to David, boom, 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 boom. And here I am. I'm a seasoned coach. I've done this. I mean, my biggest deal I've ever closed in my life was a $2.5 million pipeline deal. And I did it in the middle of a cornfield because my boss told me I couldn't. So, I was just trying to prove people that I could. Now I'm trying to pay my mortgage and, stuff like that. That's a little different story. But Carl's on and he's sitting there talking. And here I am. I'm listening to him talk. And I took 2.5 pages of notes listening to him try to close my client. And one of the things I really want to hit with you today is about disturbing your clients. You have to disturb your clients because, as Carl put it, happy clients don't buy. Disturb people buy. You know, we're looking at here. No, we can't show Asian carp. Don't show me Asian carp. Show me something better than that. I'm saying, give me some bait balls. Give me some bait balls. I want to see these disturbed fish. I want to see these disturbed bait balls of sardines, and they're up there. They're disturbed, shaking the water, and these tuna, boom, 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 mahi, everything's coming up. You know, that's going to be up there. You know, doing what we need to do. Hey, I got somebody that's watching us on Now Media. They said that things like kind of screwed up. The picture is kind of out to the left. I don't know. They said, look at, okay, thank you for letting us know. But oh, here we are. We got the seals. They're coming in there. But if you see those sardines right there, they're not disturbed yet. But boom, man, those seals start busting through them. They start getting disturbed. And that water gets going. What happens is it puts out a lot of vibrations and things start happening. And then come rushing in the marlin and the sharks and the tuna and the mahi, and it just happens in this beautiful ballet. But it's a beautiful ballet of things happening, and those are your clients, man. That's them. They're disturbed, and you need to go in and close them. Carl was telling me, he goes, look, Mike, when I'm up and I do a presentation, if I go up and I do a 45-minute presentation, and if people stand up and applaud, I screwed up. It's not what I want, because I know that they're not going to buy from me. I want them to be going, oh my God, what have I been doing wrong? Why haven't I been doing this? I need to get them disturbed. And when we get talking to JD in a little bit, you know, when your water is not good at home, that kind of disturbs you. You know, I grew up in Michigan. You know, we had lime and all that stuff, calcium in our water, so it was way different than we got down here. But these are the things that we've got going on. And we want you to start looking at your clients this way. How do you disturb them? Because they need to have that problem you solve. I told you I was going and I was writing a whole bunch of Facebook posts, and the first month of the Facebook post was about, you know, market dominating position and solving your clients' problems. We can pull away the distraction. You can look at me for a while. I know nobody really wants to look at me, but you know, it is what it is. But we gotta understand that if we don't, number one, understand exactly who our client is, we're not going to sell to them, all right? Those of you guys that see that, you go on my Facebook page, see my Fishing with Hot Dogs video. We can't fish with hot dogs if we want to go catch marlin. Ain't going to happen, okay? We take our little kids out in the summer. We take our kids and our grandkids out, put some hot dog on a bait, put a bobber, and they may catch a sunfish. Yay, they're lucky they catch a bass. You know, that's what's going to happen. But if you want to go out and be specific, like we did a couple weeks ago, I think some of you guys may have saw some of the videos on our page. You know, we went out and crushed these 75-pound tuna, man. It was just awesome. We weren't catching them with hot dogs. I'm telling you that. You got to be very specific in what you're doing. We were talking about, you know, you got to be prepared. Preparation plus opportunity equals success. I almost forgot what I was going to say. But preparation plus opportunity equals success. If you ever get to go on one of these trips with me and my friend Mike Stoddard, and we're out there, you got to understand offshore trolling is hours and hours of boredom disrupted by massive chaos. And that's what happens. It goes from nothing to nothing to nothing, like, holy crap, how are we going to do this? So Jonathan says I got 1 minute left, so we're going to get this up. We're going to, you know, if you're not following me, you know, as much as you can, you're out there in TV land, you know, go to teachyourbusinesstofish.com, get us in their website. Go to our Teach Your Business to Fish website or our Facebook page. If you're a business owner, you want to go meet other business owners who have the same passion of fishing and hunting, go to business owners and executives that love to fish and hunt. There's going to be a lot of great stuff out there. If you really like it, you know, hey, ask me for my book. We got the new book out, 8 Strategies to Catching More Clients, all kind of fun stuff. Man, I sounded like an ad machine today. I love it. Don't look at me like that. You know, I've been listening to a lot of Mike Rowe. And my favorite it really is my favorite podcast, listen to Mike Rowe talk. And, you know, I got to shamelessly plug it because nobody else is sponsoring me right now. So, you know, I got to give away some free stuff every once in a while. So, man, we're getting ready to come on. David, I see you're there. Elise, we're there, man. Great seeing y'all. We're having we don't have our little phone holder, so those of you that are looking at us on Facebook Live, you're going to find a different way to look at us today. It's probably going to look goofy, but it is what it is. So, Jonathan, we ready to get out of here? All right, man, we're going to cut out. We're going to go to break, and we're going to come back. We're going to call JD, and we're going to learn about, some great business techniques, how you grew a business, and why we need to have, good quality water.
COVID-19 transformed the way we do business. Now more than ever, fast lead generation and customer retention will determine if a business survives or not. The Now Media Video Business Card is designed to be sent using your smartphone. It's the next generation business card that will open the door for you while keeping social distancing. The Now Media Video Business Card is affordable for anyone from startups to multinational companies and is already being used by hundreds of businesses. Stay open, stay in business. Call us today.
We are CHN Advisors, and we operate our business under Liberty Tax Service. Our team of tax resolution experts and business consultants have extensive experience in tax planning, accounting, IRS problems resolution, credit restoration, and business structuring. We are multilingual and assist our customers in English, in Spanish, in French, in Mandarin, and in Vietnamese. At CHN Advisors, our goal is to help individuals and businesses of all sizes with accounting and tax strategies that yield profitability, sustainability, and growth. We have a team of experienced tax consultants and advisors that can help optimize your business tax strategy and reduce all kinds of tax liabilities. From preparing and filing your personal or business taxes, incorporating your company with the right company structure, to more complex tax issues, CHN Advisors is your solution. Take a strong and decisive step and let CHN Advisors be part of your success.
Hey, we're back. This is your business guide, Michael Rager with Teach Your Business to Fish. We got JD, John Dawson. How you doing today, sir?
Doing great. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it greatly.
Man, tell us a little bit about your business. Tell us about affordable quality water and
Sure.
all that stuff, man.
Absolutely. So I started Affordable Quality Water. Gosh, now it's been about 9 years ago. We had a different business name before that, and we ended up expanding outside of the state lines of Texas. And as a result of doing that, I had to change my company name to Affordable Quality Water, which is what we are now. And it's been great. I mean, this past year, 2020, with the pandemic, like all businesses, we saw a struggle there, but the pandemic doesn't stop the water problems that we have here in Southeast Texas.
No, the water problem stays. So how do you get into business for yourself, man? How did that happen?
I've been in the water treatment industry for 25 years. I used to work for somebody that's now one of our competitors, still a great company. I actually recommend them. If we're not the best solution for our clients, then I recommend one of our competitors. But this particular company, I had worked for them for several years, worked my way up. I was recognized nationally, and I said, man, I see things could be done differently or better for the customer in some ways. Mm-hmm. So I took a leap of faith, went out and started my own company with a good friend of mine, and we haven't looked back. It's been great ever since.
So tell us about your customers. Who are your customers? I mean, when I went to your website and I looked, you got multiple levels of customers. What's the difference?
Oh, sure, absolutely. Anybody that's concerned about their water, usually people that are drinking bottled water and realize that bottled water is not all it's cracked up to be. Mm-hmm. I always tell everybody that's drinking bottled water, put a cap on your expectations, because it's not everything that's cracked up to be. So that's one. Homeowners typically, or business owners that are just dissatisfied with the condition of their water.
Okay.
So
when they're coming to you, I always talk to, I want to solve a problem. I want to do this. What's the problems they have? What are they saying, man?
Yeah, great. In your intro, I was paying attention to that. You were talking about disrupting a market or disturbing stuff. So all of our customers, they're usually disturbed about their water quality or about something going on. They've seen the scale build up, the corrosion, or the hassle of going and buying bottled water, and then the waste that produces. So there's a disturbed mentality going on. We go in and then address that, offer a solution that in most cases is more affordable and makes a lot more sense to them.
So, like, I'm from Michigan, and when I'm growing up, we had scale and calcium and all this. Our water is very, very hard
Sure.
up there.
Yeah.
Everybody had water softeners and all this. What are the issues that people are having down here in Texas?
That and a bunch of other stuff. So down here, the water's not as hard as it is in Michigan. However, according to EWG.org, or the Environmental Working Group, the city of Houston has the 6th worst rated water in the entire nation. And a lot of the outlying communities, we do a ton of work in Rochelle, a ton of work out in Baytown, Katy, Fulshire, obviously. Katy and Fulshire, for instance, have really, really hard water. And on city water, there's a lot of chlorine. Oh, bless you. It's all right, bless you. And but in other markets, like the Woodlands, for instance, has relatively soft water, but there's a lot of chlorine in that water. So we start by just testing the water and talking about the customer's specific concerns. And then once we know that, we can offer a solution.
So being so close to the coast, I guess I got a little bit more advantage because, I'm a fish biologist and I did a lot of hydrology study when I was in college. So the water table here is very high. Nobody's got basements. Where I came from, everybody has a basement.
Sure.
It would flood here. So how are you seeing any saltwater intrusion? Is that an issue, or what kind of things are we seeing?
Great question. So out in Baytown, specifically, there's an area out there like Beach City and Cove on the east side of Houston. There's a lot of naturally occurring salt domes, and a lot of the water there comes from community wells. So those community wells, they pull in a lot of brackish water from these salt domes. So it's not like saltwater intrusion like what you're thinking of, but it's still very high in what's called total dissolved solid content, or TDS. So you're talking about upwards of 1,000 parts per million of TDS, which is when you take an ice cube and you lick it, it tastes really salty. And that's why a lot of people are drinking bottled water, because they don't want to do that.
It was funny. My son and I, you and I were talking Netflix. God, I can't remember the guy's name, but there's this guy, he's traveling all over the world. God, I can see his face and I can't think of it. But they were talking about, they went to this place and there was the only water sommelier. And this guy's talking about, and they're going, and people think that TSS are bad, but TSS and stuff are what gives water flavor. And it gets it because water isn't flavorless.
Correct. Yeah.
And they were talking about, and they were doing a water tasting from high quality waters from around the world, and talking how much different it tasted.
Sure.
Because you see some of these things on there. Oh, look, Dad, I know there's one commercial right now. Hey, Dad, look at this. It's clean, and she pours it through the purifier, and it comes through and it's purpley still and stuff like that. And then he goes, oh, mine's got 0, TSS. Do we really want 0?
Great. That's a great question again. So it's TDS, and TDS is, like you said, what gives water its flavor or its taste. According to the Safe Drinking Water Act, ideal drinking water should be less than 50 parts per million of TDS. Ideal, that means for the most part, everybody's going to love the way that water tastes. Most brands of bottled water fluctuate between 40 and I've seen it as high as 110. Some brands of bottled water that say it's mountain spring water or something like that are over 200. I don't particularly prefer those brands of bottled water. Most brands of bottled water that the average consumer is going to be familiar with, are produced, it's just city water, but it's produced through a process called reverse osmosis. And reverse osmosis strips everything out of the water, including, unfortunately, the stuff that's actually good for you.
Right.
Things like naturally occurring potassium, magnesium, your naturally occurring minerals that help the water maintain a proper pH balance. So what we do, what Affordable Quality Water does, is we add back the trace minerals so that the water's not only purified, but it's also alkaline. Okay. And so that's kind of the difference. But yes, TDS is what gives water its flavor.
Yeah, but there are some good things in water. There's
Sure.
some minerals and stuff like that. I tell people this. My very first job out of college, I was a fish biologist for the Forest Service in the Lakeview Ranger District. Right, to give you an idea where the Lakeview Ranger District is, it's on the California, Nevada, Oregon border. It's in Oregon, and it was 120 miles to McDonald's. So
Wow.
I just wanted to understand where we were.
Middle of nowhere.
120 miles to McDonald's.
Sure.
And we were doing work on these, it's called bull trout. A lot of people have bull trout, but what happened is the number of cattle went up. People don't realize if you want that natural spring water, make sure you're not anywhere downstream of a cattle ranch.
That's very true. I grew up in the Texas Panhandle.
The
Yes.
very first thing that happens when a cow walks into a stream is he lifts his tail and pees. And people they don't get that, do they?
Right.
You know, and so they're looking at that, and it's kind of funny, and you know, you start looking at water, and it's such an interesting commodity. You know, you see it. You know, growing up in Michigan, I remember they were talking about building pipelines from Michigan to California to move water. And it's like, we're like, no way, we're not giving up, you know, the water we have in the Great Lakes. Right. You know, and stuff like that. So what other issues do homeowners and business owners have in Texas or in the Houston area? Is that what you service predominantly is Houston, or you?
Predominant. I mean, we have some in Texas Panhandle, North Texas, Dallas area, but
Okay.
primarily Houston.
So what other water issues do we, you know, as citizens need to be worried about?
Sure. Well, a lot. Because on city water, this is crazy. Now, I'm going to sound a little bit like a water geek here for a moment, or a water sommelier. But if you pull up the National Primary Drinking Water Regulations published by the EPA and the Safe Drinking Water Act, chlorination causes a whole host of byproducts, including trihalomethanes, haloacetic acids, things like that can cause everything from an increased risk of cancer to, and I hate using the C word, but kidney issues, asthma. And a lot of people are really sensitive to now the city of Houston, for instance, uses chloramines. Chloramine is a combination disinfectant of ammonia and chlorine. The ammonia helps to stabilize the free chlorine to make it further in the line. But people that have asthma are really sensitive to the ammonia. So and it's a very involved process to remove that from the water. So there's that. There's iron staining. People that are out on well water have, a lot of people down south towards the coast have rotten egg smell, like sulfur. They call it rotten egg. There's a number of issues.
Yeah, you know, in Michigan, the thing was iron taste. If you went up and anybody that had well water, it was iron tasting, and you either loved it or hated it.
Right.
And it was interesting. There were some places you could drive in the Upper Peninsula, and there's, you know, it was in Oregon the same way. There's just springs, you know, pipes coming out of the side of the mountain and water just flowing out, and then people would go fill up and stuff like that.
There's actually some here in East Texas like that.
Is there? Yeah, it was pretty cool and stuff like that. Jonathan, how many more minutes we got? We got 5 minutes still in this segment. Okay, cool. I want to geek out about water still in this first 5 minutes, and then the second segment I want to talk more about business and growing business and stuff like that.
Love to.
So when your customers are calling, what's the difference you're seeing between like residential, commercial, and industrial? Because you serve all three, correct?
Yeah, another great question.
What are the issues that are between the three that they see?
Great question. On the industrial side, we'll start there. It's a lot of pretreatment for boilers, cooling towers for the petrochemical industry that's so heavy here. So a lot of that is solved with, you know, industrial water softener solutions, which we do that as well. Commercial car washes, we do a lot of car washes. Restaurants, we do a number of different restaurants around the area, because when you have good quality water at a restaurant, you save money on the amounts of detergents, cleaning products, things like that, all the chemicals that you use to do the dishwashing, plus it makes beverages and foods taste better. Residentially, and that's kind of our bread and butter, that's the basis of our business. Residentially, it protects the investment of the home, number one. It also gives you softer, smoother, silkier skin and hair. You said growing up in Michigan, everybody up there had water softeners because you have to.
Yeah, too.
Down here, people see it a little bit more as a luxury until they've lived in their house for about 3 to 5 years, and they can start to see the effects, the corrosion. Their shower head sprays cattywampus and things
that's
like
where,
that.
you know, all this stuff, like, I keep going back home, Flint, you know, a lot of the big issue there was, you know, the pipes that were going to
The lead, yeah.
And the chemicals that were being put into the water treated pulled the lead out and made some really bad stuff. There was a lot of bad decisions made up there.
Sure.
But, you know, like one of the things that we have here in America is, you know, our water was treated with fluoride, right? It treated with fluoride to help us with our teeth. But that turns out to be not such a great thing as well, doesn't it?
Right. It depends on how deep you want me to go talking about fluoride here. Because there's kind of this whole thing about fluoride. There's a lot. So fluoridation was supposedly used to help people strengthen their bones and their teeth. But you get way more fluoride than you're ever going to need from toothpaste now. In my opinion, it definitely should not be in tap water, because the amounts that we're getting through tap water, can lead to osteoporosis and actually lead to bone loss.
So we're in opposite,
Right.
opposite occurrences. Oh my gosh. So when they're coming in, what kind of price ranges are people looking at?
We have a number of different options. It really all depends on what the solution is, because what's unique about our company is we're not locked in with one manufacturer.
Okay.
So we have 12 different systems that we carry. That's why we like to sit down with somebody, find out what their specific concerns are, and then we develop a custom tailored solution, but we always make sure it's very affordable. And in most cases, it's less than what your average family of four spends on bottled water in a month.
Yeah, because like buying bottled water. Well, me, I just look at it being the environmental guys. I want to get rid of the plastic bottles.
Yeah, me too.
I think that's a big issue right now.
Huge.
There's so much plastic out there, and I know we're in the oil and gas industry, and all this is going on in the plastics, but every time we go fill up and just another plastic bottle, another plastic bottle, another plastic bottle, I think that's a big issue right there.
It's huge, absolutely, because I mean, if you want to look up the Pacific garbage patch out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and just all the plastics that end up there, it's twice the size of the state of Texas and over a mile or 2 miles deep, whatever it is.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's totally ridiculous.
Yeah, I remember one day, I was in Costco, and I was just sitting there, and I started talking to some guy, and he was getting ready to meet with somebody here, and he developed a photodegradable plastic bottle. And when I used to work in the pipeline industry, we used to put down this stuff called a Curlex, and we put down the Curlex on the streams to stabilize it after we did construction. And the plastic that was on it was photodegradable. And it was very interesting. It would go out there. You couldn't bust it until it sat out there for about a week. So things would start stabilizing, moving up, and then you'd be able, after about 3 weeks, you just go and pick it and just start falling apart.
Oh, wow.
It would just disappear. It was amazing, and I can't figure out how we can't do that with water bottles and stuff like that. All right, so we got like 30 seconds. Tell people how to get a hold of you right now before we come back.
Absolutely. So online, our website is actually being redesigned because of COVID, but it's getqualitywater.com. That's GET qualitywater.com. So, or on Facebook, Affordable Quality Water. Or call us, 281-918-3355. That's 281-918-3355. And we'll be happy to take more about what we do.
All right. So, Jonathan, you going to send us away? Did I do what you told me to do? I love him. He's just like nodding at me. So it's great.
Perfect.
So, all right, AJD, we'll be back in just a minute. So those of you guys out there, teach your business to fish, go out there, and we'll be back in just a minute.
Perfect.
COVID-19 transformed the way we do business. Now more than ever, fast lead generation and customer retention will determine if a business survives or not. The Now Media Video Business Card is designed to be sent using your smartphone. It's the next generation business card that will open the door for you while keeping social distancing. The Now Media Video Business Card is affordable for anyone from startups to multinational companies and is already being used by hundreds of businesses. Stay open, stay in business. Call us today.
Managing a property can take the time out of your daily life, but property owners and landlords can turn to an experienced and trustworthy property management company to take the stress out of renting. Elda Management Services can make all the difference in renting a home, whether you are a landlord or a homeowner living in the U.S. or overseas. We can monitor the status of your rental property, and we can take care of any maintenance requests you may have. From accounting to tenant screening and maintenance services, we take care of it without you worrying about it. That's why individuals all over the world that are looking to invest in real estate in the Houston and the surrounding areas turn to us, because we are reliable, we're trustworthy, and we offer the highest level of services for your home. And if you're thinking of buying, selling, or leasing a property, Elda Management Services can help you find that next great investment in the Houston and the surrounding areas by seeking properties and on and off the MLS. Elda Management Services has been awarded the Award of Excellence by the BBB 6 years in a row, including 2 Pinnacle Awards, which is the highest award given. Additionally, having been a part of NARPM for well over 12 years, including the presidency of the Houston chapter in 2018. Call Elda Management Services today at 281-894-8659 and let us take on the task of managing your properties with the highest level of standards.
a business owner feeling overwhelmed or burnt out with no energy left for what's most important to you? In order to effectively run your business and maximize your profits, you have got to be the best possible you that you can be. Now is the time to reclaim your energy, master your schedule, and maximize your profits so you can effectively run your business rather than it running you. It's time to become the CEO of your business and life. I'm Jen Godet, a business strategist and life coach. I work with overwhelmed business owners who feel stuck in a rut and depleted. I teach you how to stop doing the things that aren't making you money and start prioritizing the things that bring you energy, joy, and lasting impact. I'm a human performance specialist and an international best-selling author. I've helped countless people all over the world to learn the art of saying no, overcome their fear, and maximize their performance. Let's get you to live your best possible reality. Start today and become the CEO of your business and your life.
Hey, this is Michael Rager, your business coach, your business guide, back with Teach Your Business to Fish. We got JD from Affordable Quality Water. Man, it's funny. I was just picking on Jonathan. He just put one of my competitors it's funny. It's all right. I just want to thank you for sponsoring my show. It's all right. It's funny. I love it. It's okay. So, Jay, let's talk about the business side. Now, we talked about what you do and why it's important. What's been the biggest struggle you had once you and your partner decided we're going to go on our own? What was the biggest struggle you had starting out?
Man, that's an open-ended question.
It is.
There, in any business, in order for somebody to want to really go into business, you've got to be a risk taker. Mm-hmm. I mean, you have to be. And so it was a risk. I didn't really know what I was doing or where to start or even really how to get started. A lot of it was trial by error. And I figured out the most important thing, at least in my business, is taking care of the customer. Mm-hmm. If you take care of the customer, they take care of you. I've always been told that, and I didn't really know what that meant until I saw kind of what some of our competitors were doing mm-hmm. and how they were letting people down. And I said, okay, there's an opportunity that I can take care of these people. So the question that you specifically asked was, what have been some of the struggles or difficulties? Mm-hmm. For me, for our company, it's been one of the things. I'm reading a book right now, when to hire or be slow to hire and quick to fire. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, and we've, like any business, had some people through the years that we've had to let go of, unfortunately, because they just weren't a good fit, didn't buy into the business vision. Mm-hmm. So that was a difficulty for us because we really become family with all of our team members. Mm-hmm. Really, and we treat them like family. Mm-hmm. So having to make those difficult decisions, that's always tough. And then I guess this last year, 2020, dealing with a pandemic. Like, we were supposed to go to the National Water Quality Association convention, which was supposed to be last April down in Orlando, Florida. Mm-hmm. And we were launching a nationwide portal to our business. And we were very excited, invested all this money to be able to launch nationally. And then I get a phone call 2 weeks before we were supposed to go. I'd already invested in a 20-foot by 20-foot booth space with custom graphics and everything. And they were like, oh, yeah, the show's been canceled.
You get a refund on that?
On the booth space, but not on all the materials.
The other stuff but is it going to be reusable again?
Yes, and so then they rescheduled it for this year in April, and it was going to be at in Las Vegas this year. So we were getting all geared up to go in April, and then it just got pushed back till the end of July. Oh, and so, because we've been sitting on this concept for now 2 years, trying to get it launched, mm-hmm. but we need the national platform to be able to do it. Mm-hmm. So that has been a real source of frustration and difficulties.
Well, let's come back to that hiring. That's always something. I've been talking to a lot of clients right now that are getting ready to, hey, we're getting ready to grow. How do we find the right people? One of the things that
$1 million question.
Man, I'm a big advocate of a friend of mine, Cameron Harold. He was the foremost COO of 1-800-GOT-JUNK. And he wrote a book called Double Double. And the second chapter, I think the second or third chapter, is all about hiring. And when I used to work at another coaching company, which I won't name here, we had something called the 4-hour hiring system, and Cameron had some of that same stuff. And the thing is, there was a lot of group interviewing, and it was not really selecting the candidate; it was letting the wrong person deselect themselves,
Right.
and moving them out of the place, because hiring can be a very, very long and tedious, process.
Oh, very much so. Yeah.
And people have learned how to interview. Doesn't matter, they can do crap, but they've learned how to interview.
Sure.
And so how have you gone to, and how have you, to move the company to where you wanted to be, what things have you done to improve your hiring?
Well, one of the things that we're actually doing now is a mass hiring, like what you're talking about, where you just put an ad out there, everybody that's looking for a job, because you never know. I mean, you can find a gem. We put a group ad out, or a mass hiring ad. We arrange a group interview. And then from that process, we show everybody and explain to everybody what it is that we do. And then let people deselect themselves, to use your words. And then the ones that make it through the group interview process, then we take them out. We'll spend a day in the field. We'll show them exactly what we do and ask them if they think it's a good fit. Then we like to meet their spouse or their partner and explain to them, hey, a lot of what we do involves late nights. It involves long hours. It involves working the weekends. Is this something that you can be supportive of? Because in order for somebody to be successful in our industry, it requires the support of their family. It just does. We're in direct sales.
Right. Yeah, you catch what you kill.
Right.
I mean, you eat what you kill, right?
Right,
That's
pretty
what it's
much.
about. So,
Yeah.
So I've had to do that, and it really is an interesting dynamic when you start looking at hiring much differently, and you start looking at putting together processes, systems and processes, because that's the one thing we're looking at when I go teach my clients is I'm teaching them to build a business that becomes a sellable asset. And if you don't have a hiring and firing system in place, it's useless.
Right. 100% agree.
So talk about process. What kind of processes have you put in place in your business to make sure that these people you bring on and you're training them to be direct salespeople? How have you brought them on and going to make sure they're going to be successful?
Well, that's one of the things I want to talk with you about after this. That's one of the areas that we need some help, is those systems and processes and procedures that we can implement things and put them in place. Because really, as I told you at the beginning, a lot of what we've done has been by trial and error. And so now we've been fortunate and blessed to grow our business to the point to where now I realize the value of systems and procedures and having all that in place, because I could get hit by a truck on the way home, or on the way to the office one morning, and I need to be able to say, here's the business in a box, and now you can duplicate this, whether I'm here or not.
Yeah, it's funny. I've been telling this story a lot. I was at an event. Those of you guys know that know me. I used to have a proprietary software we use to write processes and procedures, and we were going out. We don't no longer do that. We have another product we use. It's not proprietary to us anymore. But we were at this event where this guy was talking, and he came up and he goes, I was playing golf one day, and I was on the 15th hole, and the last thing I remember was lining up my putt. And the next thing I knew was I woke up in the hospital. My wife was standing over me, and it was almost 30 hours later. He said, I had no idea what happened. I had a massive heart attack. Took him bad. He had surgery. He had everything. And he said that next day I was sitting in just laying in my hospital bed going, oh my God, if I would have died, my business was gone.
Right.
My business was gone because everything was in my head. My wife didn't know how to do it. My partner didn't know how to do half. Nothing was there.
Right.
And, as a business owner, that's got to be a big fear, isn't it?
I'm constantly stressed out about it.
Yeah.
I really am, because like my wife, and my wife is also a business owner. So
Yes.
we're both entrepreneurs. So she owns a business called Paleo Pet Goods. You can find her online, by the way, a plug for my wife, paleopetgoods.com, Paleo. And it is an amazing business, and she's been in business for 15 years. And she has gotten to the point now to where she does have some systems and procedures and things in place, and she's been working with companies to help her get there. And she's always been on me saying, hey, you need to do this, because I'm almost 50. And at my age, I do have a business partner and I've got my wife, but like you just said, If I was to die, my business partner wouldn't know half of what I
Half
do.
of what you do.
And my wife would be like, I'm running my own business.
Yeah, we've done it. We helped a company up in Spring, a company called Flyboys. They manufacture these things for fighter pilots, and they're getting ready to sell. Their goal is to sell the company in the next 2 to 3 years. And so they're like, we've got to make sure that when we pass it on, the owner, Mike, is like, I don't want to be here for 3 more years.
Right.
I want to sell my company and out. I'm
Right.
out the door. Give me my check. I'm going to go do whatever I do. The heck with you guys.
Right.
And it's really hard for me to get business owners to see that. That's we talk. I mean, we haven't talked a lot about exactly what I do, but we look at 6 things. We look at strategy, short and long term. We look at sales and marketing, and we look at sales first before marketing. Look at operations. We look at finance, systems and processes, and then people.
Right.
Those are the 6 keys to business, and you've got to have those things entrenched in your company, or it's useless.
Right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And I've got most of that. We do great as far as business, as far as sales go, as far as the revenue, it's all there. We're doing great. There's always room for improvement.
Oh, yeah.
But it's the one area that we struggle where we could, if there was a way to streamline our process, because then we would be in a position to be able to expand more rapidly nationwide. And that's ultimately my goal.
Yeah, we took on a client a little over a year ago, and here's what I get. Most business coaches, and I'm going to dog on you, they come in and they start looking at revenue.
Right.
And that's not, they're pushing marketing. Oh my God, we're going to make you more money. But here's the thing: if you don't look at the operations first,
Right.
and see if can they handle it. I one of my clients, we stepped in, we went through their facility, and I talked to their operations manager, and I said, hey, Jason wants me to help you guys work on marketing and increase business 25% over the next year. What's it going to look like? And his eyes got like saucers. He goes, dude, we can't do that. We don't have enough space. We don't have enough people. We don't have enough. So we spent the first 90 days streamlining and coming up with triage. They do high-end rug cleaning. We worked on triaging and setting up new processes to make things more efficient.
Right.
Because efficiency, is where you make profit, right?
Right.
The more you do,
100%.
the more you do, everybody thinks it's marketing.
Right. Or just sheer sales.
Yeah, marketing and sales is revenue.
Right.
It's revenue. If we don't get the thing that runs in the right way, we just make more revenue, and we just work harder.
Right. I want to interject real quick because that's one of the things that I have a very difficult time explaining to some of my sales guys is, they think that the end all to be all is sales. We need more sales. Although sales is very, very important.
Yep.
And not to dog them, they work hard and I couldn't be more proud of them. But there's all the other piece of the puzzle. It's the systems, the procedures, being able to duplicate that to where, like a referral program. So we have a referral program for all of our customers to where if they refer us 5 people, then their system's free. And that works great. A number of our customers end up referring friends and family, and it just continues to grow our business.
Right.
But you have to develop all of these other processes for it to make sense.
You guys aren't doing any manufacturing, so you guys are taking systems and you guys are doing the installing.
Yeah, we do the. I wouldn't say manufacturing. We do the assembly. So we buy components from different manufacturers depending on what the application is. So whether it's resin or carbon or catalytic carbon or whatever the filtration media is that's needed, and then we get the tanks and the valves and we assemble it and install it and warranty it, service it, maintain it. We do all that.
Yeah, there's a lot of people when they look at it, is one of the things that I teach, and one of my mentors, this guy Frank Mamula, he was great. He's the one who introduced me to that 6 cylinders. But he's like, you've got to run your business based on gross profit margin. It's not revenue. It is gross profit margin, because as he told me, he says revenue's for your ego, profits for your pocketbook. And we got to look at. There was a guy that did some ads on Facebook this last week. I thought they were brilliant, but he was just missing a step. And it was for restaurants, and he was specialized in driving customers to restaurants. And he said, hey, we ran this ad. Here's the revenue it made. Here's the cost to make the pizzas. Here's our cost. Here's profit. And then he just got bashed by people in there saying, well, what about fixed costs? Because he only had gross revenue, not net. And
Oh, yeah. Well, you can't do that.
you can't do that. You're missing a step, dude.
Right.
Because that'll kill you.
Right. Oh my God. Yeah, I could talk for hours on that subject.
You know, and one of the things that we know is if you increase prices 5%, decrease your cost of goods sold 5%, decrease your fixed cost 5%, is a 36% increase in
Right.
profit.
Yeah.
And those are really important things to work on.
Sure.
You know, how do you being the owner of the company, how are you looking at cost controls and all this stuff? How often how much time do you spend on doing that?
Quite a bit. I spend a lot of time trying to get some of my staff to understand that not everything, not the gross profit off of a quote unquote sell is profit. I mean, there's all the fixed costs that are in there. There's the overhead, there's insurance, there's company vehicles, there's, company cell phones and iPads and all the stuff that we have to pay for.
Yep.
And then they're like, well, we sold X number of deals last month, so that should have easily paid for all that. I'm like, right, but you don't know. You have to plan that. So I'm always cognizant. I keep a very accurate spreadsheet of exactly, what our cost of goods sold is, what our company bills are, what everything is. I keep a detailed spreadsheet of all that, and then I know how much off each sale is actually net profit.
Yeah,
because the net profit's what matters.
But what is really what matters? We get there. There was a girl that I was talking to this week. She worked at one of the local restaurants, and she's like, "Man, it's just, these menus we have, they're just paper. We just need to keep throwing away." And it's like, you don't understand. It's 2 cents a piece or 3 cents a piece, and if you get rid of thousands of them a week, it adds up. So we got 1 more minute before we go.
Yep.
Give us your contact information again. Plug your wife again too. And
Sure, absolutely. So my wife's business is paleopetgoods.com. That's PALEO petgoods.com. Check her out. They actually ship, deliver, all that kind of stuff, and they have a retail store in Webster. And my business is called Affordable Quality Water. You can find us online at getqualitywater.com. That's GET, so getqualitywater.com. Or call us at 281-918-3355. That's 281-918-3355.
Well, Jonathan, did we hit your minute goal? Sweet.
Awesome.
So get that other coach to pay for my show some more.
COVID-19 transformed the way we do business. Now more than ever, fast lead generation and customer retention will determine if a business survives or not. The Now Media Video Business Card is designed to be sent using your smartphone. It's the next generation business card that will open the door for you while keeping social distancing. The Now Media Video Business Card is affordable for anyone from startups to multinational companies and is already being used by hundreds of businesses. Stay open, stay in business. Call us today.
Do you want to experience the ease and convenience of the latest and most advanced home security system? Are you going away on vacation and want to have peace of mind while you're not at your home or at your office? According to the FBI, a robbery occurs every 13 seconds, and homes and businesses without a security system are 300% more likely to be burglarized. Hawk Security provides security solutions to residential and small businesses in the state of Texas and from California to Georgia, building a custom-tailored security setup that matches your needs. Whether it is home security, fire and carbon monoxide detection, flood detection, connected senior care, managed video surveillance solutions, alarm monitoring, and life safety. In addition to fire and carbon monoxide detection, Hawk Security has a smart home and business integration, expanding security services to a lifestyle solution, keeping customers connected to their home and businesses from anywhere in the world, from their tablet or mobile device, so you can have peace of mind even if you're not at home or in your office. Reduce your energy cost, scheduling automatic changes in thermostats or lighting. And because we rely on our heroes every single day, Hawk Security offers security services discounts to military personnel, veterans, first responders, educators, and hospital personnel. Our mission is to keep our clients safe, treat them like family, and provide them with a user-friendly security system with personalized customer service 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For integrity, honesty, passion, and excellent customer service, take a strong step today toward getting protected and call Rosanna Torres at 832-863-8574 because every home and business is unique and every security system should be unique too.
And we're back. This is your business guide, Michael Rager, teaches his business to fish. Let's do that. He's over there laughing at me. We got JD, John Dawson over here. Okay, John, we talked a little bit about quality water and the crappy water we got in Texas and,
Sure.
and how you fix it.
Yep.
We talked a little bit about hiring and firing and cost control. We all got into business for a reason. And it was not to work for somebody else. It was because they told us it was fun.
Right. Oh, God.
Tell us a little bit about that, and why did you get into business? I mean, really, what drove you to get into business?
You want me to give you the truth?
Sure.
No, honestly, because I just am not that good of an employee. I mean, I'm really just not. And I recognize that at a very young age. I got fired from my first job at McDonald's. I got fired from my job when I was, because I see things and I'm like, man, there's a better way to do that. And I know that there's a better way to do it. So instead of me arguing with my boss all the time, I just decided, okay, I'm just going to go out. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I'm going to prove that there's a better way to do this. And so I did, and I make a much better business owner than I ever made an employee.
I can totally agree with that. I remember the last time I got fired, I told off a corporate exec and dropped some F-bombs at him. And I just gave him my badge and walked away.
Right.
It was funny. As I was hired, you don't know much about I was in the oil and gas business
Sure.
for a long time.
Yeah.
So I really am a trout biologist. I really am. That's my degree. And I was an expert at doing big pipeline projects.
Yeah.
And so this KXL that everybody's whining about now, I did some of the permitting on that job.
Wow.
I know what it's all about. But I was hired by this company in Kansas, and I was hired by the engineering side of the company to deal with their own environmental people because they didn't want to deal with them anymore.
Right.
And so they're paying me like
I understand
$30,000
that.
a month to deal with their headache. And it only took me 11 months to get so pissed off that I didn't want to deal with them anymore. So can you just imagine how big of a headache that is? It's like, we're on the same side, guys.
Right.
We're on the same side. We want to do this environmentally safe. Your engineering guys want to do it environmentally safe, but you won't listen to anything we need to say.
Right.
We've got limitations. We want to figure out how to make things better. Help us. And then it was just like, oh my God, this sucks. Just banging your head against the wall.
So and I completely understand. That's one of the reasons that I wanted to start the company. And I did. And now, looking back, you said something a moment ago. You said, people get into business for themselves because they think it's fun. It is fun, but not the kind of fun that a lot of people think is fun.
Right.
For me, being able to provide a customer the best solution for less money, on time, under budget, whatever, and the success and the feeling of accomplishment that comes from that, to me, that's fun. Mm-hmm. It's not about, I get to work part-time and take off whenever I want and go on vacations. And no, that's if that's your idea of being a business owner, that never happens.
Well, that's the ultimate goal.
It is
to get there. And,
sure.
And then I go back to one of my early mentors, and his definition of a successful business was a commercial, profitable enterprise that works without you. And
a great definition.
I love that. And people ask me, he goes, why did you start Teach Your Business to Fish? And I said, well, so I can have people pay for me to go on really expensive fishing trips.
That's true.
Teach them how to do what we do. So what do you guys, you got into it, so you do it for fun. You got your wife, you have kids?
No, we don't have any kids.
No kids. So what do you guys do for fun when you get out of the business?
Really, we just are always working on the business, working in the business. Talking about different ideas. We love going out to eat. We love, as you can tell by looking at me, my wife is an avid CrossFitter, so at least she works out enough for both of us.
Somebody should.
Right. So Really, it's just we hang out, we spend time with friends and family. And this last year, we haven't really gotten to do much of anything due to the pandemic. But before that, I love nature type of vacations, if you want to call it that. Niagara Falls, we went there 2 summers ago. Spectacular. If you've never been, highly recommend it, but you have to stay on the Canadian side. And then Santa Fe, New Mexico is another big thing, a playground of ours. And I love the mountains. I'm much more of a mountains guy than a beach guy.
Oh, yeah. I as long as there's water there and there's fish, I don't care. If you're going to, if you ever go to Niagara Falls, and tell the people that are listening, go salmon fishing up there. It's incredible. Like right now, there's a guy that I follow on LinkedIn, and he's posting every day right now these giant brown trout, these giant steelhead salmon that he's been catching all winter. The fishery up there in Lake Ontario is ridiculous.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
I mean, people that, I mean, that's right. I grew up Michigan, so I fished Lake Michigan and Lake St. Clair. So, that's how we got to this point. It's really funny because nobody in my family fished. How this happened to me, I don't know. So, it's kind of fun. So do you gotten out and done any of these offshore fishing trips being here in Texas?
Yes. And I was going to tell you that story off the air, but I'll go ahead and tell you. So several years ago, when I was working for now our competitor, I had won an offshore fishing trip. I was never a big fisherman. I didn't know. I grew up basically on a ranch, more or less, in the Texas Panhandle, like as dry can get. Our closest lake was an hour away. And it was a small little lake, Lake Greenbelt. I don't know if you've ever fished it.
Never heard of it, nope.
You're not missing much. So anyway, I went, and this guy that he was a fishing guide. At the time, he was apparently the mayor of Galveston, which I didn't know that. So you may know who I'm talking about. I don't know. I don't remember the guy's name. Anyway, we go way out. To me, it was way out offshore. We're out there 30, 40 miles, I guess. I have no idea.
Right.
And he said, okay, just start dropping your lines in. We're fishing for red snapper.
Red snapper, yeah.
And I'm like, okay. So we start pulling up this red snapper, one after the next after the next. We ended up going over our limit. So he just filleted them right there on the boat. And we cooked it in the microwave.
Okay.
And put it between 2 pieces of white bread with tartar sauce. Best fish sandwich I ever had ever in my life.
Release, I see.
Yeah, well, then... But on the way back, we were trolling for king and ling.
Yeah.
And so during that, I ended up catching something. I thought I had no idea what I caught, but it was a fight like none other. And so I'm wearing the belt. I have my fishing pole and everything. I have my feet are like in these stirrup things on the deck of the boat. And I'm there. Well, it ends up being a 5.5-foot black tip shark.
Okay, nice.
And so we pulled that up. We gaffed him, got him into the ice chest. On the boat. He's in there flopping around, knocks the ice chest over. And I know we're on the air. I don't know if you can see all my hand motions, but he knocks the ice chest over. He comes out and he's all on the deck of the boat.
Not happy. He's not happy at all.
Right. He's not happy. So that was my one and only experience of offshore. But now I'm going to have to go out. With
whatever the sea there. Yeah, we go with the wave dancer out of Galveston and Greg Ball. We're getting ready to set our snapper trip, man. We did last year. We go with 5 of us, myself and 5 other men. We caught our 10 snappers, so 2 apiece.
Yeah.
They averaged 20 pounds in an hour and a half. It was just like,
Wow.
all right, we're done with this. Let's go. And then we started doing it. We started doing the kingfishing. We caught a ton of kingfish. We had a blast. 2 weeks ago when we went with Mike Stoddard, Mike's got a great boat, a 60-foot Hatteras out of Freeport, and we were 120 miles out. This is a 36-hour trip. We leave on Friday and come back Sunday. And
now that sounds like a great time.
It is a great time. We're going again. We're supposed to be going again in 2 weeks. I think on President's Day weekend we're going. But it was funny. It was 8-foot seas going out and flat calm coming back in. But he's got stabilizers on the boat. You just feel it rocking a little bit. But we drank enough and smoke enough cigars and do everything we're supposed to do. So it's a little bit misbehaving. It's a little bit